All right, now we got the tablet up and going. I get both of you guys on here. All right, everybody, welcome to the Dating and Relationship Reconnect show. We're gonna do this thing every single week. And guys, we got two gentlemen here, uh, eligible bachelors, out doing their thing on the dating scene, and they're gonna talk about their experiences with dating now. And guys, one thing, listen up, ladies and gentlemen. All right, now we got two gentlemen here. Now I did go out and interview some women, so we try to have some women on the set too. So this is a man and woman show, but the women have to show. So far, we got two brothers who showed up. All right, so ladies, if you like to catch up, you got to stand up before you speak up. And let me drop this on you. Before you stand up and speak up, you got to show up. All right, these brothers showed up, so they here. So the women who are getting worked up when you see this video, we like for you to get worked up. And we like for you to say, man, I like to have something to say. That's why we have the Dating and Relationship Reconnect show, for you to show up and say what you got to say. All right, now listen, those ladies who are out there, wherever you are, send us your information, men and women, to youareverythinggood1323@gmail.com. That's youareverythinggood1323@gmail.com. I'm going to drop that one more time. youareverythinggood1323@gmail.com. Send your information. We'll get you on the show next time, so now you can rebuttal the gentleman. In the meantime, we're going to drop I Am Like I Am Hot, 22 minutes of brothers chopping it up. Now, when I say brothers, you know, if you're a man and you're real, you're a brother. So you can show up. All right? Yeah, let that sink where it needs to sink, right in the heart. All right, guys, first up, we're going to start out with my brother Al. And Al going to talk about his experience with dating. And we're going to hit issues like ghosting. And he's going to explain what that is. And I just call it a way to chump out, standing up, speaking up. But he's going to hit you with his experience on the dating scene. And let me see, can I get this, give me a wide angle with this tablet, flip it over this way. I hope that doesn't look weird when I do that, but looks all right from this end. And we got the camera going as well. So Al, jump in. We got Detroit and Chi-Town and LA right on the set.
On the set, man. I'll start off saying this personally because I'm from Detroit, and I've dated women in Detroit. I've dated women in Los Angeles, and there's definitely a difference in the water, I should say. And I don't mean like physically, I just mean like mentally, I guess spiritually. So for me, I don't want to say I recommend a certain coast to date a woman, but I find more of a genuine connection from where I come from, and maybe I'm being biased because I'm from there. However, I feel like a lot of us get in our own way when you first meet somebody. You got all these walls up. I don't believe in you have to earn. I gotta earn what I never lost. I meet women, the first man says, you gotta earn my trust, you gotta earn. Well, why I gotta earn if I ain't never lost it? I ain't the last nigga. Don't put me in a box with him. I'm not from here. I'm not from there. I'm not this. I'm not that. You don't know nothing about me, and I feel it's unfair for me to put you in the same box too. So I don't. So when I first date a woman, it's always a new, clean slate. Your name, Teresa. Your name, Keisha. Your name, Sandra. Whatever the case may be.
Now,
It's a whole new taste of woman.
Now, let me ask you this: when you say a whole new clean slate, um, does that mean that you are not dealing with her based on experience that you had before meeting her?
Absolutely. Because here's why.
Because that's very important.
Because here's why. What Tanya did is not what Sharice did. Sharice, I don't have experiences with Sharice. So why would I put her in the same category as Tanya?
Okay.
They're two different people, two different entities. Maybe one probably grew up in an all-male house. One probably grew up in an all-female house. One probably grew up with mom and dad. So those backgrounds changes the idea of how she's going to interact with me.
So basically, you're not going to punish the new girl based on the behavior of the past girl.
Correct.
Well said. I like that. I like that. That's good. Ladies, listen up. Now, this is what my brother's saying, Al. He's not going to make the new young lady pay for the ball dropping of a woman he dated previously. Now we know a lot of women do that. You know, they meet us, and again, ladies, that's right. You hear my voice. You don't see me, but you're going to on some of these episodes, you're going to see me standing out with the guys. But in the meantime, listen to my voice. I do have a movie that I've written, feature length, and it's going to be following these interviews. Going to come out soon, and I'm addressing issues that I hear men speaking about, and a lot of, oftentimes we hear. I mean, we've seen so many movies and so many comments made for the woman's side, which is great. But I have a saying. I never met a man that wasn't a woman's son, and I never met a woman that's not a man's daughter.
Mm.
So we still dealing with each other. So let's put that in perspective. There will be no men without women, and there will be no women without men.
Right.
So we on the same side. So when you hear these brothers speaking up for what they like to experience, don't start getting that attitude like, oh, it's a woman. No, no, no. You're hearing a woman's son speak up. So
I love my mom. My mom is
boom. You see?
everything.
So that's right. So when you show the men love, you show the women love too. The mother, the aunt, the sister, daughters, cousins, nieces.
Yeah.
That's right. So every man is connected to many women, and every women are connected to many men. So go ahead. I did cut in, and just to make it very clear to Al's point, Al made it very clear, and I'd like for the ladies to know, Al is not punishing new women based on past women's behavior. Start a new clean slate. Go ahead, my brother.
Because I've been cheated on. I've been cheated on. I've been lied to and everything. I've actually caught women cheating on me, like in my face, literally. And I don't go to the next situation assuming this will happen again. And maybe she cheated because of me, or maybe she cheated because she's insecure. I would never get down to the nitty gritty of it, but the fact of it is when a guy and girl meet each other, I'm not big on dating websites. I'm not big on Black People Meet or Tinder or all these other whatever OkCupid. I'm not a big fan of dating online. I just feel like in the most humble way, you can't bottle me up. You can't put what I have online. But the few times I've done it, I've been on. I think I did 2 websites. The 2 times I've done it, I've seen women put this one particular line in there: no hookups. What the hell that mean? I know you saying you ain't trying to fuck. That's all good. But that shouldn't be the first thing on your mind, because every guy ain't always thinking that way. You already putting into the world, he just want to fuck. You don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm looking for a wife too. You want a husband, right? So every guy I ain't trying to hook up. Well, I ain't trying to hook up. Now how you gonna hook up? Ain't everything about the relationship. That's only a part of it. Because eventually you're gonna hook up. Whether it be with the kids you grew up with in high school or middle school, a relative, friend, enemy, you gonna hook up at some point. Don't let that be the first thing that come out your mouth is no hookups. No. Get to know me. You probably want to hook up with me before I want to hook up with you. You just don't know that though, because your walls are so up. So just let's lighten up. Life is already difficult and it's already hard. Let's not do each other that way. Just come to the table with a good conversation. That's how it starts off. I know no hookups, no hookup. I'm already turned off. Just my opinion.
Okay, that's a good opinion. All right, we're gonna come back to Al, but we're gonna switch over to Aaron, and Aaron is on the dating scene. Quite a few stories been shared. So Aaron, how do you feel about when you meet a young lady, you make a connection, at least you feel you have a connection, and then the next day, there's, it's like when you call them, it's like they don't even recognize that they knew you the night before, or even address this thing called ghosting, which I feel like really, come on, man. I mean, like, we can change that term from ghosting to cowarding. Cowarding, you understand? Not having a heart to be woman enough to say, yeah, let's connect again, blah, blah, blah. Or if you don't prefer to, be strong enough and woman enough to say, hey, you know what? I shouldn't have given you my number the night before because you already married. You got a man already. Now you're going to ghost and make the brother feel that he has to wait to hear from you when you're really giving time to the man that you already been with. That's what ghosting really is, just so you know. Now you know. Aaron, speak up on that.
So you asking me how I feel about ghosting in
Or
general?
just like, dating a young lady, many times I've heard stories, you met somebody and everything looked like green light, and the next day they wake up and they start acting like they don't know who you are,
Right.
even to the point sometimes numbers got blocked.
Mm.
Yeah.
Just speak on that.
Um. Yeah. I don't. My initial, feeling on that is I don't. I don't like it because I always feel like I always approach and kind of am a very straightforward person.
Hmm.
So I always kind of feel like you should kind of get the energy you put out. So I don't come in with hidden agendas or anything like that. I feel like I'm very forefront, even just from down to how I approach a woman. So I also feel like that the communication could be I expect that really, to be honest with you, to be the same, or at least would like it to be. So
Hmm.
even if it's down to that, they're not interested. I think that's a different way of handling it than just flat out like not yeah, you don't even know the person. That even happened to me pretty recent. Went out and did like a little picnic style date, or whatever the case, and didn't make no moves or anything like that. Played it very cordial, and then there was at least some communication a few days after, but my gut feeling was like at some point I almost expected that the ghosting would take place,
Hmm.
and it did, and it was just like, wow, okay, like why would you even come and even make that effort to meet up if it was just going to end up with you just disappearing as if that never happened?
Right.
And
Now, we mentioned ghosting, and I kind of touched on that a bit, but there are beings out there I know probably still don't have an idea of what we're talking about. Can you elaborate on what ghosting is? That terminology, what that terminology represent? What type of behavior does ghosting represent? Like using that terminology for certain behavior, so that those who are listening probably hearing ghosting for the first time, but the ones who are ghosting, they already know what's up. So can you elaborate on what that behavior is like?
I mean, ghosting really is. I believe everyone, if they're tech savvy enough to look at a video on YouTube, they know what ghosting is. Ghosting is that level of like, you know, level of communication or lack thereof now. So I had a few women actually even who were decent enough to explain, why they did it. But ghosting, you want me to just answer that? That's just basically like an example of you reach out, usually via text, and you don't get a response back.
So that,
And so that's really what it is.
so
But now,
basically, what you're saying is that they're choosing to look at their phone message. I mean, look at their phone, see your text messages, and just rudely ignore you.
yes, and you know that's the case because especially if there was a consistent level of communication where it was communication, and then all of a sudden there's just none at all, um, then yeah, that would be ghosting.
All right. So how does that make you feel when that happens to you?
I mean, I think at this point, you just become desensitized to it. It's bothersome because it just feels like, okay, why? I think closure on anything is always considerate. I now feel like it's happened so much that I have to reconsider what consideration is now.
Wow.
Want to play on
Yeah.
words?
Yeah. I mean, now that's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like for you to reiterate that and then elaborate on that just a little bit, because that's heavy.
I'm
I
pretty
mean,
good.
yeah,
I'm pretty good.
drop that again and then try to make it clear for those, because I know some beings, man, you have to take them around the block a few times for them to get catch up to what you're talking about. So for
I kind of feel
you
like
know,
this one not too much. I mean, many women know if they know about ghosting, they're gonna know what I meant by that. So it's just that you don't have the expectation for someone to even be considerate, like in the level of communication with you. So like things that you would be considered like having manners or whatever the case like that. So in this regard, having the decency or the consideration to like not put a person through wondering, if there's a reciprocity and attraction.
mm.
Um, they just leave it as you just gotta figure it out. And so, and I feel like that's the new level of consideration.
Or they're just leaving you in a blank
Leaving you
space.
blank. Hey, you know what? If I didn't get to you, and I've actually had it explained to me, and maybe that's the best way. But like, you didn't get the point. If I didn't hit you up, then you're supposed to just get it. And so that's like, I believe that's just the level of communication now. So it's a stretch for someone to actually like be honest and say, oh, I haven't, I'm in a relationship or something complicated,
Mm-hmm.
or decided to go with someone else, or I just didn't like something you did on a date, whatever that is. Instead of them explaining it, this is, they just rather you just have to get the point.
Get the point. Now, let me ask you this: when you first meet a young lady, like, what are your first um, questions? Because I'm gonna say this for me. You got again, you all don't see me, but eventually you're gonna see me in some of these videos. When I meet a young lady, the first thing I do is I say, "Wow, you know, I was moved to come over and say hi to you, whatever. I'm courageous that way. But before I move any forward, I have two questions I need to ask you. If one of those questions is yes, then if the first question is yes, I'm gonna ask you the second question. If that's yes, then hey, have a nice day, many blessings. The first two questions I ask, are you married? Boom. If they go no, I say, okay, we're looking good so far. Do you have a boyfriend? No. Okay, we can keep talking. I like to put those questions out there right away because I like for um, I like for the monkey not to have any place to run and hide.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather lose up front than lose later. Excuse me. Had something to eat. I'd rather lose up front than or at least appear than lose up front. Lose what I mean by that is I'd rather lose the opportunity to get to know somebody who's gonna be fake by being honest up front to help them because I'm gonna put questions to them. And I believe if for all the guys who are out there, if you start asking women, "Are you married?" or "Do you have a boyfriend?" if I'm not going to tell you how you can tell that they do because then the women they'll be listening to this and then they go, "Oh, I'm not going to do that." So I ain't going to let out my secrets because I know they're listening. But if you ask that question, you'll be able to see the answer. And trust me, there's a presentation that they will present they can't hide.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would say is for yourself that one of the ways to kind of save yourself from a ghosting experience is put those two questions out there real quick. Because a lot of time I feel that the women are ghosting because they're playing. What I mean by that is they got someone already, then they give their phone number out to you, and then when they decide not to get back to you 1 or 2 days, it's because the guy that they've been with is with them, and they ain't trying to mess that up.
Mm-hmm.
And they rather have you wait and try to figure it out before they let the guy that they've been with for a while know what's up. And so I said something to you before. I said, if you're behaving a certain way to get to know a woman, then who are you? Are you really being yourself, or are you being what you feel that you need to be to get to know her? Can you jump on that, Al?
Man, I hate to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. You know how I am. I wanna backtrack on one thing and just say, you had said something. I think you had asked Aaron,
Mm-hmm.
uh, what's the first thing he say to a girl when you first approach him?
Mm-hmm.
I want to tackle that one first. Is that cool?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'll make it. I'll be concise. So for me, when I first approach a woman, I don't have a blueprint. I'm a wild card.
Okay.
I don't have my instincts, my gut, my intuition, whatever people want to categorize it as. I just call it my gut. It tells me go talk to her.
Okay.
Now I don't have game. I just say literally what's on my mind. It could be something witty. It could be something funny, sarcastic.
So